Hello everyone, welcome to Learning with Miss BBB. Today what we are going to do is we are going to learn how to use Microsoft Excel to create pixel art. This could be something you do just for fun. However, if you're a coder, you realize that pixel art is what we use to create our sprites, etc. So this is going to be an easy, fun project. The first thing you need to do is open up your Microsoft Excel to a blank spreadsheet. Once you have that blank spreadsheet open, you'll notice where I'm moving my mouse, you'll see the different columns. And right here are different rows. Where I want you to go is right here where A1 is. So above the 1 and to the left of the A, I want you to click. And what this will do is highlight all the cells. So you'll know that you've clicked the right little square over here to the left of the A and above the 1 when all the cells are highlighted. Now that we have our cells highlighted, we are going to format this for our pixel size. So we're going to come over here to Format, select Column Width, and number 2. So we're going to type in the number 2. Then we're going to press OK. Now we have our pixel block set up. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click in cell V7. The reason I'm clicking in cell V7 is because I do not want to start all the way over to the left of my columns, and I'll explain that to you in a minute. But what we're going to do now is we're going to come over to Google, and once you get over to Google, I want you to type into the search bar pixel art, please. Now that you have pixel art typed in, let's go over to images. You'll notice it brings up several different pixel arts for us to view. However, what I want us to do is to make sure that we are using what is legal. So we're going to come down here for our drop down on tools and choose usage rights. And we're going to go to Creative Commons license. And I want to start with something that's very simple. So I'm going to simply start with this heart. So I'm going to click on the heart. Once it's up, I'm going to right click and I'm going to say copy image by left clicking. Then I'm going to go back into Excel, and I'm going to come over here, see in the columns where we have the double letters, I'm going to simply choose a place to paste this. So I hit right click, I'm going to choose the one that says keep source formatting and left click. Now I'm going to pick that heart up and I'm going to move it just a little bit, and then I'm going to come back to cell V7. But before I do that, I want you to notice right here, if you look at the first 2 lines of the heart associated with the pixel art, you'll notice that it shows us that it's going to be 5 different cells for both of them. So I'm going to come back, like I said, to V7. I'm going to come up here to my painter. I'm going to do the drop down on my painter, and I am going to choose it to red. Yours probably has yellow, but mine I've already changed, but I'm going to show you for demonstration purposes to change it to red. Now that we have it to red, I'm going to come up here where it says Format Painter, and I am going to double click. You notice that it has activated the Format Painter, and you can tell this because it has a solid line going across. We also have our blinking ants here, so this is telling us what it's going to format. So I'm simply going to come here to W7, click, hold, and drag, and I'm going to come over 4. The reason I came over 4 is because remember, this is showing us that it's 5 cells. If we count here, this appears to be a break of 6 cells. So I'm going to count and skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to come here and I'm going to click, hold, and drag to go across 5 cells because we're doing this one right here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look at this one. It really looks like it's more like a cell and a half, but that's okay because our heart will still come out okay. So we're simply going to come here and we're going to highlight 7 cells. We're going to come here and highlight 7 cells. And then I want you to notice here we're going to come across. So I'm kind of going to do the same thing. I'm just going to simply come over 1 and I'm going to come down 6 and go across. Now you might be asking, why did I come down 6? Well, this looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It may even be 7. So just to be on the safe side, let's go ahead and do 7. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start closing our heart in a little bit. So you notice that each one seems like it has 1 less cell available. So we're just going to simply start taking and making less cells that we highlight and change to red. Our heart may not look exactly the same, but that's okay. Just continue the process. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to uncheck my format painter, because in unchecking my format painter, it's going to cut it off so we can make some adjustments. I'm going to opt to choose X11 and X12, and I'm going to come back up here to my paint bucket, and I'm going to say no fill. And you notice when I say no fill, it removes the red color. I'm going to come here, I'm going to highlight a few cells, and once again I'm going to say no fill. And then from there we can begin to adjust our heart. So I personally think that our heart needs a little more red up here. So I'm going to highlight these 3 cells. I'm going to go back to our paint bucket, and I'm going to add 3 on top to both the right and left side. And that makes it look a little more like a heart. Now here's the thing. When you zoom out, you'll notice it begins to look even more like a heart. So if you notice, I know it's kind of hard to see on the screen because I have zoomed out. It's almost like our heart looks a little more like a heart than the actual one we were using as an example. Now let's say you mess up. Let's purposely make a mistake. I'm going to come back here to my red cell right here, and I'm going to double click Format Painter, and let's say I accidentally formatted right here and did not want to have this filled in. No worries. First thing you can do is Control Z. However, if you realize that it's too late, there's another option. What does Control Z mean? Control Z means undo the last item. And I'm going to give you an example here. Let me come back so I can show you a different way to see it. Let me go back to my cell, double click the Format Painter. Let's make some mistakes. Let's say this is our mistake. This is another mistake. If you come here, you could hit Control Z, because these were our last 2 steps. Or you could hit the undo. Notice right here, undo. Once again, undo. Or there is another option. Let's say we made a mistake. We're going to click on our fill bucket. Once again, we're going to do our Format Painter. We're going to come up, oops, I forgot to hit the right button. Let's see, Format Painter, we've got it double clicked. We're going to come in here and say we made several mistakes. Let's say we accidentally covered it green. All you have to do is, if you can't do the undo, is simply highlight your mistakes, come right here, see where it says no fill, click on no fill. Same thing with the green, highlight your mistakes, click right here, and say no fill. Another option, just so you can see, let's say you chose the wrong color. Of course, this is not the color of the heart, but we're going to come in here, we're going to select them. You can always change your color. So it may be that I actually like this color of my heart better. So I could come in here and say Format Painter. Just simply come, go over it, and it'll start changing the color of our heart. Once I've changed the color of the heart and I'm ready to cut off my Format Painter, all I have to do is click. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to completely change the color of this heart, because I really do like this red color a little bit better for the heart. I'm going to skip our white no fill cells. Notice how I'm just clicking, holding, and dragging it down wherever I need to color. That Format Painter makes it very, very easy, especially if you have a mouse. Once again, I'm clicking, holding, and dragging. After I finish doing this, don't forget to uncheck your Format Painter. And then once again, I'm going to click off so you can see. We're going to zoom in. Like I said, I understand that it's kind of hard to see on your screen, but the more you zoom in, the more it looks like the item that you're creating, which would work great when it comes to your programming of sprites, etc. I hope this helped in knowing how to do pixel art, and until the next time, thank you. Okay, I did decide to add to this video because I know some of you are like, why or where would I use this? Let's say that you need something and you want to be a little bit creative, whether it's creating a holiday card, a personal card, a birthday card. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to simply click on my keyboard, print screen. I am going to highlight my heart in the print screen area. Notice it comes up, well, you can't see it on your screen, but it will come up as a snipping tool screenshot. So I'm going to make my card in PowerPoint. Even though we're not making a card today, I'm just going to show you an option. We can do cards another day in PowerPoint. I'm going to choose blank presentation. Let's go ahead and make this a full-size screen. I'm going to come here to new slide and I'm going to choose blank slide. We'll come back up here on this one, right click and simply delete it to remove this slide. So now we have our blank slide. We're going to right click and we're going to choose paste. So we have our heart, but the issue with the heart now is we see our grid lines or our cells from our Excel spreadsheet. So what I want us to do is I want us to notice that picture format is in the toolbar, in the ribbon. And the reason it is because we have our active handles here showing us that our heart is active. So we're going to come here and we're going to say remove background. And what I want you to notice is that everything that's in this purpley pink color is what is going to be removed. So now that we know that we're happy with that, if we say keep changes, we simply have our heart that we can add. If we wanted to, we could duplicate it, and all I did was do a Control-C, Control-V to add multiple hearts. If you zoom out even more or shrink your heart down, so if you wanted to do like a digital card that looks digital, and I'm not saying it has to look digital, I'm just saying there's so many options that we can do. Yes, you could simply copy and paste a heart in, but there's different options that you could do depending on what you're wanting to do to unleash your creativity. That was a bonus add-on. Once again, until the next time, thanks again for watching. See you later.